Welcome to Ingrid Fitness. For those who are new to my channel, my name is Anthony. I am someone who went from skinny to fit, and these videos are purely educational. So this way, if you are also a skinny guy, you can take what you're learning, implement it, be super consistent with it, and see your own results. If you are someone looking for one-to-one coaching, the link for that will be down below if you're interested, so feel free to check that out. But in terms of today's video topic, we're going to be talking about how to gain weight the right way. So if you are a skinny guy, this is what you need to be doing in order to gain weight. So let's go over a few different tips slash pieces of advice for you all so that way you can take some good notes, know what to do, and most importantly, take action upon what you're learning here today. So number one is eat more. I know it's a big heartbreaker, right? Because who knew it would be as simple as that? And it really is, right? I hate to break it to you, but it really is as simple as that. Because I used to be this way back then when I first started in my fitness journey and was trying to gain weight. And I know a lot of guys back then were too. And I know there's a lot of new guys who are the same exact way now. They say, I'm eating so much food and I'm not gaining any weight because of my fast metabolism. And that is so far from the truth because there is no such thing as a fast metabolism. There is no such thing as a fast metabolism. Literally brainwash that into yourself. The fact that you are not gaining any weight is because you are not eating enough, plain and simple. And there's going to be guys that say, "Oh, but yes, I am. Like I eat this and that, right?" But you're still eating below your maintenance or at your maintenance. You're not eating in a surplus of you're not eating in a surplus amount of calories to allow for you to gain any weight. And the people and the guys who say that they're eating X, Y, and Z items, you know, day to day, don't know how much of something is actually in something, right? Especially the new ones, the beginners. They don't know how much of something is in something. They think that one chicken breast is more than enough to meet their protein goals for the day, right? That might be a little bit of an exaggeration, but you get the point that I'm trying to get across here. They don't know numerically how much of something, how many grams of protein is inside one singular chicken breast, or 4 ounces of chicken breast. Visually, they don't know what that looks like either, too. And so that's how you have these guys that say, I do this, and that, or I eat this, and that, and I'm not gaining any weight. But these are the same guys that visually they're so and it's not their fault either. They're just beginners, right? They don't know visually how much of something is in something, right? So it's not only just that, but they're also not tracking what they're eating. And they're shooting themselves in the foot through doing so. And that's what's going to help you visually see what's inside of something, right? Or how much of something is inside of something. For you to track your calories. It doesn't have to be for many years on end, because personally, I'm not tracking my calories anymore, just because I'm so used to seeing how much of something is in something through years back then of tracking my calories. So if you are a beginner and you're saying these things that I'm not gaining any weight, even though I'm eating a shit ton of food, which you're not, what I recommend and what I urge you to do is download MyFitnessPal and start tracking your food for the next several months. No complaints, no excuses, just do it. Once you get in the habit of doing things, which takes around 14 days, I think, to build a habit, or or is it to break a habit? I'm not too sure. But it takes a certain amount of time to build a habit. So just do it for that amount of time, and before you know it, it's gonna become second nature, and you won't even have to think about it. So just do it, get the ball rolling, and don't make up excuses, right? So start tracking shit, so that way you can visually know how much of something is in something, and you can actually know how much you need to be eating in order to gain weight. Now, second piece of advice or second tip is that you need to eat more calorically dense foods. So foods such as chicken thighs, pork, oatmeal, potatoes, and the list goes on, right? These are just to name like 2 or 3% of the many foods out there in the world that are calorically dense. So consider eating some of these foods because I mean, like I said, don't mean to sound like a broken disc record. They are calorically dense, which means that you're going to get a nice boost of calories and you won't have to eat as much, quote unquote, right? So, for example, what I mean by saying that is that if you were to eat pieces of lean chicken breasts with white rice and veggies, that wouldn't be anywhere near amount of the calories if you were to eat three chicken thighs or two pork chops or three pork chops with white rice and veggies because those specific meats are a lot more fattier. And so not only are they a lot more fattier, that also means that they're tastier. And if they're tastier, that makes the bulk a lot more sustainable and most importantly, enjoyable. So consider getting these foods into your diet because they're going to help you tremendously. If you don't like any of these options here, then tough shit. You're not gonna you're not gonna gain any weight. Sorry, I'm just kidding. Just look up some more online. Google it. Google calorically dense foods, and then you should get like a big list of different foods out there that you can go ahead and purchase and buy at your nearest grocery store, so that way you can make tasty recipes with it or tasty dishes with it. Third tip is to eat more cheat meals. So when I say that, I don't want you guys to overdo it, right? There's clearly clearly there needs to be some sort of moderation. So it's not an excuse for you to pig out or to, just essentially, overdo things. But just eating a cheat meal here and there when you feel like you need it is definitely would be a really good strategy to do. Just because when you're eating the same meal, if you are eating the same meal day to day, it gets pretty boring at times. And so when you insert a cheat meal in place of one of those meals that you have every day, it further makes the bulk sustainable and enjoyable. And I know I just said in the first slide that eating calorically dense foods because they're fattier will make the bulk more sustainable and enjoyable. But you have to keep in mind, we're human beings. We're not going to want to do the same shit or eat the same shit over and over again. At some point, we will get bored. And that's when we need to switch things up, right? And be more strategic about placing cheat meals or switching up certain dishes, right? Whatever it is, whatever helps us be more sustainable, whatever allows for us to be more sustainable and allow for us to enjoy the bulk more, the better. So um, use cheat meals in a very strategic way. Don't overdo it. Um, and most importantly, just have it when you feel like you need it. Don't go crazy on it. Because again, you don't want to gain excess fat that you don't need. Unless you want to be a dirty bulker. By all means, go ahead. If you dirty bulk, you'll definitely gain weight. Now, is it gonna be, a productive use of your time? That's a little bit arguable because when you dirty bulk, you gain excess fat that you don't need. But I guess if your main objective is just to gain weight altogether, then go ahead, do the dirty bulk route. Tip number four. So eating more liquid calories. I guess it should be consuming or drinking more liquid calories in this case. But like the last slide, don't overdo this either with the liquid calories unless you want to, just completely shit out liquid, and that's not fun. That's not a good time. So I wouldn't recommend it. But once a day for having protein shakes or any sort of liquid calorie is perfectly fine. I just find that liquid calories, and maybe you guys have found this as well, or um, yeah, maybe you guys have found this to be the case as well if you have consumed any sort of protein shake or whatever. But liquid calories are just far more easier to take down compared to solid foods, right? You can take down a protein shake in like less than 5 minutes, and that's it. Not only that, but some of the recipes out there online, they're those protein shake recipes are super high in calorie and in protein. So some of them they can be up towards 1,000 calories with 70 grams of protein in place. So literally it's a win-win if you're looking to build muscle and gain weight. So long as you're meeting your calorie goals and macro goals for the day. In terms of I don't know if you guys are wanting to know this, but in terms of like protein shake recipe or protein shake flavors, completely up to you what you want to use. Personally, I love chocolate. I feel like chocolate is a universal flavor just because it pairs well with most things. Vanilla is a very shitty flavor. I hate vanilla. That tastes like ass. It tastes like pure chalk, and maybe some of you guys can um, relate to that feeling. But I usually recommend just chocolate protein powder. That's the best. Depending on the brand, it's up to you and your budget. You know, some brands they go up towards 50 to 60 bucks. Some of them are 45 to 40, and then there's some on the really low end that are 18 to 20 bucks. Now, is it probably the best quality source of whey protein to get? Probably not if it's on the cheaper side, but who knows? I haven't done my research on fucking cheap protein powders. compared to the most expensive one. There's some expensive things out there that are just cheap as shit, poor quality, while the most cheapest things or cheaper side of things are more higher in quality, right? So it's kind of, kind of goes both ways. But I didn't do the research to say that certain lower priced protein powders are low in quality, so I don't know. I wouldn't know. That's just me saying that. So tip number five is make sure to weigh yourself. This is actually pretty important as well, because I bet a lot of you guys, much like myself, don't weigh yourself, right? Um, you don't need to weigh yourself every day as well. You can just do it once per week, and it's so important if you are wanting to see if you're making progress, just because you get to see if you're gaining weight, losing weight, maintaining weight, and that way you can see what needs to be adjusted, what needs to be fixed up inside your eating, or yeah, just really your eating. So this way you can start gaining weight and start just making progress altogether. So like I said, just do it. Just weigh yourself once per week, first thing in the morning, ideally after you've used the restroom, so that way you can get the most accurate representation of your weight. That covers it for the video for today, though, guys. Please make sure to like, comment, subscribe. Comment down below if there's any questions, if there's something in particular that you all want to see in terms of a video idea. And once more, if you are looking for one-to-one coaching, the link for that will be down below. So check that out as well. Check that out as well. Until the next one, though, guys, take care. Much love to you all. And peace.